Hello guys, and welcome back to the northeast of England. It's the start of season 2. We've had quite a busy summer. We've got a lot to go through, so let's run the intro and get into it. That's right guys, it's episode 10 of Grassroots to Giants back here in the northeast with Norton Stockton Ancients, where following our promotion last season we are now in the Northern League Division 1. If you're keen-eyed among you there, notice that our media prediction for the league is actually to finish second. If we do go into the league and we have a look at the season preview, we are actually heavy favourites to win the league. We've made some signings, we've brought in a fair few players, which we'll go through now. We'll go through the squad, we'll go through the signings first. We've got a bit of a tactical change as well. It's been quite busy. Daniel Dixon, the goalkeeper there, has left. He's gone to North Shields, which is just north of Newcastle, just up the road. You can see not the best goalkeeper, inconsistent, doesn't like big matches, didn't really play the best for us. In terms of players we've brought in, some of them have clicked over, or one of them has clicked over to last season. We brought in Lewis Warrington, the former Everton trainee. Everton contract expired in the summer, so we snapped him up on a free. We have a quick look at his attributes. He's more than likely going to be playing as the shadow striker. If we do have a look at him as a shadow striker on support, he's not too bad. His concentration could be a little bit better, but as you can see, it is improving. Decent pace, decent acceleration, a good first touch, and it's an improvement on what we had, to be honest, which at this level, the amount that players chop and change without them being on a contract, you can't really hope to build a squad, to be entirely truthful. We then brought in Bailey Aisthorpe. He is the new left wing back. Again, another former Leicester City trainee who we signed on a free transfer when his contract expired. As that left wing back on attack, not too bad. Obviously crossing and dribbling are a little bit of an issue there, technique as well, but again at this level he's pretty much the best we could get. There were better players out there, they just weren't interested in talking to us, to be fair. You can see here he's currently operating at Northern League Division 1 level, and he has the potential to be Vanarama National North or South, which is very good potential. So that's Bailey Aisthorpe. We then brought in Harry Christie, who is the new goalkeeper. If we just compare him with Daniel Dixon, you can see Harry Christie is the green. He's a marked improvement in most areas. Eccentricity is not really something you want for a goalkeeper. He's not as good physically, but he's got better shot stopping, distribution, aerial, and he's much better mentally. Attribute wise, again, very good. The young 18-year-old, who again is a Leeds United trainee, we snapped up on a free transfer, and again he's fairly decent for this level, pretty much the best we could bring in. We then brought in Joe Snowden. He is a central midfielder / defensive midfielder, another Leeds United trainee, initially started off at Manchester City. Again, fairly decent for this level, 13 first touch, passing 11, good teamwork and vision, good balance, good at decisions, and again a very useful addition to the squad. Also touted as a regional first division player, which is the division above us, I believe, and then we've got regional Premier Division central midfielder of the future. So again, pretty much the best we could hope for at this level. We brought in another central defender. We've brought in Sam Greenwood. As you saw there, we signed him from Mask United, but again a former Nottingham Forest trainee. I feel like I've had Sam Greenwood before in a Football Manager. I feel like I had him on in 2020, FM22. But you can see as a defender, very good. He does operate in the system for us as a no-nonsense centre-back on cover, which you can see decent attributes again for this level. We just compare him to our best defender, which is Yannick Aziakunu. Better in different areas. Yannick is much better defensively and aerially, but we're using Sam Greenwood on that covering, role, mostly because Yannick is much better at being a ball playing defender. I now look at that and I see that Sam has actually got better passing than Yannick has. We might have to change that round. The final signing that we made was James Gale, a centre forward. We're lacking a little bit in the centre forward area, but we've brought James Gale in because of his fantastic heading and jumping reach. He's just a physical player, and we've actually brought him in to play as a target forward. He's got a couple, he's poor technique, but again, he's one touted to be playing at the division above us, and touted to be 2 divisions above us, potentially. As I said, we have made a change to the tactic. I was very conscious of last season of just how many goals that we did concede. So we've dropped to a back 5. We've got rid of the deep line playmaker. We've changed the shadow striker role to an advanced playmaker. We've also gone with a target forward and a ball winning midfielder, just to try and make us a little bit more solid defensively. I'm now questioning myself as to who's actually better as the ball playing defender or the covering defender. If we have a look at ball playing defender on defend, arguably Sam is slightly better as the ball playing defender, and we use Yannick as the no nonsense centre back. I might make that change actually. If Football Manager, please, no, right, we'll do it over here then. Doesn't want to do it. We'll swap them round like that. So we'll go with that. So going forward, we have released a few players as well, a few of the fringe players who never really played for us, all in aid of keeping this wage budget below the £624 there. You can see we're actually committed to spending £460 per week. We've still got a balance of 32,000, which is very good. But the lineup is going to be Harry Christie in goal, going to make his professional debut for us. We're then going to go with Aesthorpe as the left wing back. Again, 19-year-old Englishman, a very young squad that we've got here. Just the best that we could hope for at this level. Sam Greenwood going to be playing as the ball playing defender. Azia Kunu is a player that we're familiar with from last season. He is actually the key player in the squad. If we just have a quick look, he's listed as the key player, with Tom Devine listed as the hot prospect. We're then going to go with Lewis Coyne as the other ball playing defender. He's actually stayed with us. We've had a few bids come in for players like Coyne, Mohammed, Sonny Best, who should be on the bench. Sonny Best, you're going instead of Alex Reid, but they've all opted to stay with us. Right wing back is still a little bit of an issue for us. We're still playing Chris Salmon here, but the players who were actually available and wanted to sign for us, Chris was actually better than them. So we've stuck with Chris now. It does actually say here that Lewis Coyne is actually better as a right back, but I don't agree, to be fair. Anyway, Shabs Mohammed is going to be playing as the ball winning midfielder on defend. If we just have a look here, he's got fairly decent marking and tackling. He's probably the best option we have got as a ball winning defender. Again, he's got quite a lot of cons, but he is operating at this level and he's got potential to be a regional first division player. You could see there that he's actually under a bid as we speak. Snowden's going to play as the centre mid on attack. Again, very capable of playing there. He's got some good attributes for that position. There's another one making his professional debut for us. Warrington's playing as the advanced playmaker on support. You can see it's actually listed as his most comfortable position. Decent passing, decent vision. Again, very good. I do actually have a bid in for another attacking midfielder. I can't remember his name now, so it might be a case of Warrington drops back into here and we make some changes. Up front, we're going to go with Keith Wright, of course, who was in fantastic form for us at the end of last season. 8 goals in 7 games. He's going to be playing as the advanced forward. And then it's going to be another professional debut in the squad for James Gale, playing as that target forward. So a little bit of change to tactics. We've gone attacking. As I said, very conscious of the amount of goals that we conceded last season. We've tried out, I think we started in the Tadcaster game, where in the friendlies, where we didn't really give up a lot. We'd give up XG of 0.28. We were still threatening going forward, which is very, very good. You can see the three centre backs had an excellent game. Again, we used it in the Sunderland Rye Hope friendly, where again Sunderland didn't really offer anything going forward. Sunderland are actually in our division, but you can see that we were still very comfortable going forward. So this is what we're going to start the season with. It's not necessarily what we're going to finish the season with. In terms of the club vision for this season, though, they do expect us to reach the playoff minimum. They also expect us to reach the FA Cup second qualifying round. And if you just saw there on the schedule screen, we are actually in the extra preliminary rounds of the FA Cup, which is going to be our first match of the season. FA Vase expect us to reach the semi-final minimum. Of course, we are the reigning champions in that competition. And then the Northern League Cup, they expect us to reach the final minimum competition, which I was very disappointed with our performance in last season. We've also got play attacking football, possession football, entertaining football, and high tempo pressing football. So that's a quick look at the squad. If we just sort them by ability, we can see we've got Warrington actually listed as our better player. Azia Kunu, Sonny Best, and James Gale all up there. Snowden. In terms of potential, it's Warrington and Skates again. Skates has actually dropped down to the bench, although he did play fantastically well for us at the back end of last season. I just think Warrington is a better player to be playing in that position. So today's game is going to be the FA Cup extra preliminary qualifying round. We're playing against Carlton Town, who I believe are a similar level to us. No, they're actually a division above us, but we are actually listed as the favourites for the game. You can see here there's lots of players on our shortlist that we're actually looking to bring in, but we are listed as the favourites for the game. So it's going to be interesting for me to see just how the tactic works in a competitive game, especially against a team who are a division above us. Aesthorpe is a little bit lacking in sharpness, condition rather, at the left wing back, but we don't really have a lot of options to keep that wage budget down. The squad depth isn't the greatest, but it's just what we've got to put up with. James Gale's not fully fit either. Again, we've got Sonny Best on the bench. We can change that target forward role up to suit Sonny Best. Bring the poacher role back, maybe. But yeah, we are the favourites. I'd like to have a decent cup run. Financially, it will benefit the club massively. We've got two of them off for a wonder now. Those players love a wonder. So let me know what you think of the tactic. Is it too defensive? Am I sacrificing too many players in midfield for that extra centre back? In friendlies, it looked very, very comfortable. We sort of snuffed the attack out. We are also in defence. We're funneling the opposition inside towards those three centre backs and the ball win midfielder. So defensively, I'm looking for a much sounder performance than what we had last season. We did concede a lot of goals last season. Just check I've got the highlights on key highlights, because we're coming up to half time and we've not really had a highlight yet. Carlton are actually playing much better than us. They've had a much higher XG, a lot more shots. We haven't had a shot on target yet. So is the formation working? I don't really know, or are we just tired? Our last pre-season friendly was only a couple of days ago, and I didn't actually realise that this FA Cup game was going to be so close. 48th minute though, and we have our first highlight, and it's going to be Carlton Town on the attack with Davey inside to Baker, and it's well cut out there by Salmon. Now Snowden, Warrington, a few of the new players combining there. It's Gale, now Mohammed. It comes back with Sam Greenwood, and now it's Azia Kunu. Greenwood again finds Warrington. We're passing the ball around quite nicely here. Of course, one of the caveats of this tactics is we do have a lot more possession of the ball, or at least we did in the pre-season friendlies. It doesn't seem to be the case against Carlton Town. Of course, the division above us, but Keith Wright's being put through on goal by Warrington, and Keith Wright gets his first goal of the season in the 49th minute. It was a great through ball by Warrington, split the defence, and Keith Wright's there to continue his goal scoring form from last season. Greenwood wins the header, it's into Warrington, it's a great little through ball. course, one of the areas that we did struggle with last season was winning those defensive headers. And I just think with those 3 centre-backs there, we're going to be much more comfortable defensively with the headers. You can see Greenwood's actually only on a 6.4 rating and Athorpe only on a 6.3, which is a little bit worrying. Of course, they are quite tired. I might look to make some changes. We do have Farrington on the bench who can play as that centre back. I didn't put the left back on the bench, which is again a little bit of not being very prepared for me. We do have some tired players though. It is just after pre-season, and like I said, my fault. I didn't realise that this FA Cup game was so close. If we can keep them out defensively though, that will be absolutely massive. I'll persist with this tactic for a little while just to see how it gets on. We have been awarded a penalty now in the 71st minute. I believe it's going to be Azia Kunu to take the penalty. I believe he's our best penalty taker, which is strange for a centre-back to be fair. But he has tucked it away past the goalkeeper. And it's 2-0 to Norton Stockton Ancients, living up to our favourites tag, which is absolutely fantastic. It's a great penalty, right in the bottom corner. Keeper didn't really have any chance. Looking for this cup run to go as far as possible. Financially, it's something that the club would need. I'm expecting us to be quite heavily in debt come the end of the season, with the extra wages that we've took on, etc. Obviously, going up through the divisions, you do tend to spend more. We're going to bring Sonny Best on as a pressing forward on attack. It's something that he's quite comfortable with. Gale was very, very tired there. I know there's only a couple of minutes left, but some fresh legs would be absolutely fantastic for us. And we have progressed with a 2-0 win. You can see XG wise there, we did overtake them in the second half. Obviously the penalty massively inflated us. We did concede a lot of shots on our goal, but defensively we were quite sound, to be fair. And obviously Christie with a 7.5 rating there is a huge upgrade on Dixon. And we've kept a clean sheet for our first game of the season, which I'm absolutely ecstatic with. I know it's only a cup game, but they were a division above us. Let's see what the media say about that. That was a good result. I just found myself wanting to get back to my FM save. I know how you feel, Ali Madden. I've got a couple of saves going on at the minute. I'd like to get back to my SS Cosmos one because I'm enjoying myself over in San Marino. Norton Stockton Ancients winning preliminary round. And that's worth 1.12k to us, which for a preliminary qualifier is quite a lot of money. And this is what I mean about the cup run. It's going to be essential for us. Azia Kunu was very, very good defensively. He was imperious in the air. You can see there he won 92% of his headers, completed 90% of his passes as well, which is absolutely fantastic. I think we're about 20 minutes into this episode. I don't want this episode to be too long. We've had a quick look through the new players, the squad dynamics. The club atmosphere is very good. Managerial support's excellent. Team cohesion's a little bit low, but that's because we brought a lot of new players in. You can see just schedule wise, next episode we're going to do the first league game of the season against Ashington, of course a team who we have beaten before. We beat them last season in the FA Vars. We just have a look at that. We beat them on penalties. Of course this friendly game was right at the start of the save before we had any players, so that's a little bit misleading. We're gonna have a look at the Ashington game. We're going to judge our performance on that, and then we're going to decide from there just how much of the league table, the league games, we are going to show, because as I said previously, we are predicted to be heavy favourites for the league alongside Carlisle City, who came up with us. So we're going to continue our rivalry at the top of the table with Carlisle City. You can see now also the league has sorted itself out. It's got 20 teams in it. If we just try and find the the last league that we were in. I'm still trying to figure out my way around this skin. Northern League Division 2, you can see again, it has also sorted itself out. It's down to 20 teams now. I did mention earlier on in the save that the first season is a little bit buggy in terms of the teams in the leagues. I think it might be something to do with Bury going out of business, which obviously happened at the start of FM22. They are still in the game, I believe. Were they Bury Town? No, they weren't Bury Town. But yeah, I think it might be something to do with Bury going with bust, and it sort of shuffled the leagues around a little bit. Either that, or it's just a knock-on effect from the editor data. That's going to be the end of today's episode, though. Staff-wise, we're not doing very well. But yeah, that's going to be the end of today's episode. You can see we've got a few bids in for players for us. We'll come back next time. We'll take on that Ashington game. Maybe we'll do the Carlisle City game or the FA Cup preliminary round, depending on who we get. But Carlisle City are going to be rivals for us again. Of course, they beat us twice last season, 1-0. So we'll gauge how the league's going to go in the next episode. As always, guys, if you do like what you've seen, please leave a like on the video. It helps me out massively. And I'll see you all next time.